go to John Urban for an update.
Christian, as you talked about last week against the Guelph Griffins, the Western Mustangs lost by 3 points. McMaster also, they lost to 3 points. So a combined 6-point loss in the last 2 losses for the Western Mustangs. I was talking with Stevenson Bone before the game. He said number 1 reason why we want to win this contest, well, obviously to lock up 3rd place, but number 2, the 34 seniors that were honored before this contest, they want to guarantee that they have 1 more game here at TD Waterhouse Stadium. And you know what? Windsor Lancers quarterback Austin Kennedy has a handful of records. I'll touch on them throughout this broadcast. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, John. First down run over midfield. Down we go down to John Urban on the sideline now.
Thanks once again, Christian. Austin Kennedy doing it all there as you see him getting the first down. He has a handful of records that he could accomplish today. 307 yards coming into this contest. He was away from being the 4th ever quarterback in CIS history to have over 10,000 career passing yards. He's also just seven pass completions away from being one of the only quarterbacks, 3 of them, to have 700 completed passes on a season. And of course, we know if they get a touchdown here, he'll be 2nd overall in the CIS for career touchdown passes, guys.
All right, thank you, John. We now go down to John Urban here.
Thanks once again, Christian. Just behind me is J.G. Pouillon. He was out with a dislocated elbow from a previous contest, but actually played last week against the Guelph Griffins. Guys, I dislocated my elbow, and I was in a cast for 3 months. This guy is playing football, hardcore university style, a month later. That's that tough French-Canadian grit for you. Back to you guys in the booth.
Well, that's the difference between us as broadcasters and them as football players. A bit.
Sideline.
Go down to John Urban on the sideline, John.
OUA.ca.
Once again, Christian, I don't think it's a coincidence. The Western Mustangs were down 14-0 early, but all of a sudden the sun is out and they've battled back. The defense is really pumped up. They've shut down Austin Kennedy the last couple drives. The Western Mustangs have only given up 131 points coming into this game. Only 2 teams have given up less. McMaster is in first place with 105, and then I believe at 115 is these aforementioned Windsor Lancers. So it might be a battle of the defenses later on in the stretch. Back to you in the booth.
Thank you very much, John. The defenses have held. And we go now down to John Urban on the sideline. John.
Once again, Christian, it's silence almost. A pin drop could be heard on the Western bench as Will Finch is laying on the field. But on the flip side, the stands, I've never heard them so vocal this season, guys. And obviously, I can't repeat what's coming out of most of their words, but they are very angry at the Windsor player right now. Back to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, there's been probably more boos coming. John Urban down on the sidelines again, John.
A very even, somber mood here at TD Waterhouse Stadium right now as everybody's in a standstill over Will Finch's injury. I do know that the ambulance has been called, so it is somewhat of a serious incident here, guys. The only Western player that on the field that hasn't been taking a knee is Stevenson Bone as he's preparing to come into this game with $120 remaining in the first half.
And that's going to be a first down as we go down to John Urban on the sidelines, John.
Thank you once again, Christian, here at the sidelines. And I was just noticing as the offense was on that last drive, we talk about Ricky Osikusi, a hard-nosed football player. He actually knocked the screws loose out of his helmet and needed Mark to put him in the equipment manager. And he's right back out there with the same hard-nosed mentality. You got to love it here in the second half, guys.
Well, the defense is going to... John's got an update. John.
Thank you very quickly, Christian. Just talking about Will Finch, he was admitted to University Hospital, which is just located a couple blocks north here of TD Waterhouse Stadium. He's undergoing testing. Obviously, in layman's terms from the sports world, all they're saying it's an upper body injury. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Will Finch. Guys.
There's an update on Garrett Sanvito.
Thank you very much, Christian. We were talking about the Sanvito brothers. It's good to see Justin Sanvito, his first touchdown of the season, coming in the last regular season game here at TD Waterhouse Stadium. His brother Garrett has seen limited action since earlier in this game. I overheard him talking with some of this training staff saying that he has to work it out. But now that they have the lead in the second half, maybe they're just taking the precautionary route and keeping him out of this contest. But, you know, one brother's not getting it done. The other brother always will. Justin from Garrett. Lots of Sanvito love here at TD Waterhouse.
Sideline, John?
Thanks, Christian. I just was going to let you know, 54 penalty minutes less did the Windsor Lancers have than the Western Mustangs coming into this game. A real quick update from Garrett Samvito. He was actually walking up and down the sidelines and one time just started walking all the way to the locker room, so it looks like he's being looked after. We are heading off to a commercial break here at Mustangs TV with OUA football between the Windsor Lancers and your Western Mustangs.
Go down to John Urban.
Thank you once again, Christian. The Mustangs were trailing by 14 points after the first quarter of play and find themselves up by 15 here in the fourth quarter. But fourth quarters have not been kind to the Western Mustangs in the last 3 weeks of play. 3 weeks ago, they gave up a 10-7 differential in the fourth quarter to McMaster. They gave up a 14-3 differential to Laurier 2 weeks ago, and they gave up a 10-7 differential to Guelph just last week. So hopefully the Western Mustangs can outscore their opponents here in the fourth quarter and get some momentum heading into the playoffs. Guys?
They just need to keep Windsor off the game as we go down to John Urban on the sideline.
Thanks once again, Christian. You know, I've never been to an Oakland Raiders game, but I'm kind of thinking it sounds a lot like what the fans sound like. I want to rename TD Waterhouse the Purple Hole, guys, as the last couple calls, yeah, they've been iffy, but the fans are letting the Zebras have it tenfold. Like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I can't repeat what they're saying on TV, but it's not nice, guys.
Well, they've been very vocal today, which is good. He's the player of the game, 209 yards on 21 carries, and he is with John Urban.
Thanks once again, Christian, here with the Texas Lone Star player of the game, Yannick Carew. Not only was this an important game to get the home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs, but it was important for the 34 seniors that were honored before the game. How much pressure was felt by the locker room heading into this contest?
A little bit of pressure. Like we lost last week, we want to come back and make a statement, and I feel we did that today.
Talk about your TD marker. It was a heck of a run.
Thank you. Yeah, just like the O-line opened up, and I just ran.
I want to get your thoughts on this before I let you go. Your team was trailing 14-0, and then you really lay the bootstraps to the Windsor Lancers. You guys will probably face off against the Laurier Golden Hawks in the first round of the playoffs right here at TD Waterhouse Stadium. Your thoughts against your future opponent?
Well, we played them before. Like their running backs are really good, and if we contain them, I think we'll be all right. The offense will take care of itself, I found.
Yannick Carew, the Texas Lone Star player of the game. Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Guys?
Thank you very much, John. Is on the sideline with John Urban.
Austin Kennedy, 3 touchdowns on the day. You tied Josh Jacoby's record. Take me through that, what it meant to you coming into this game. I know the W probably means more than anything of those records, but what does it mean to tie for the first over the king of the mountain, if you will?
Yeah, like you said, it would have been nice to get the W. I'd trade a W any day, but I mean, it's nice. I guess it's a good way to end the career. It kind of came down to the wire, right? My last regular season game. So, you know, it's a testament to the receivers I've had, the O-line I've had, my 5 years here. I've had a lot of talent around me. So, you know, it's happy to share with all those guys. You
had 3 potential records coming into this game. You got 2 out of 3, which isn't too bad if you ask me. Yeah. The other one was 700 completions. You needed only 7 coming into this game. Did any of these records dawn on your brain coming into this contest, or are you just focused on going against Western?
Yeah, honestly, the only reason they dawned on me because everybody's telling me about them the whole week and the whole season. But I just tried to focus on, you know, winning football games. If we would have ran and scored that way, that would have been fine with me. Like I said, I think, you know, records are a testament to success and success of an offense especially. So, you know, it's not me, it's the whole team and the way we've been for the past 5 years.
With the loss, your team will start the playoff run on the road. You guys are having a bit of a team meeting after the game. Can you let me in a fly on the wall, if you will, as to what was being said?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're actually at home now because Carleton lost to Queens.
That's correct.
So we're at home. We're playing Ottawa, and we beat them regular season. They're a very good team, strong front 7. So, you know, the loss happened, but you got to rebound, and we're 0-0 now. It's playoff time, so we're just trying to be as positive as possible going forward.
Austin Kennedy, 3 touchdowns on the day. Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it.
Christian, back to you in the booth.
Thank you very much, John. A very humble Austin Kennedy. He knows the win would have been great, but the records are still a pretty nice consolation prize. He can